diggity, diggity dog. Breaking, diggity, diggity dog. Shark. Breaking.
Hello, it's a brimful of Asher on the 45. It's episode 45 of the Tipping 40's podcast.
Oh, jeez.
I'm Michael.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Benson. That didn't even apply to anything, that reference.
And I'm Alex, and I have bronchitis, so yeah.
So he won't be talking much, except for that he has a segment. If you want to contact us, you can email us at podcast@tipping40s.com or call us at 218-666-8407. Just a brief overview of what we're going to be going over. I'll be going over beer of the week, and it's not a shitty one. So
Congrats.
That's a new thing.
First time you've done that.
Benson will talk about happy trees. Happy trees.
Oh, yeah. Painting on... Yeah. All right.
Sure. And then Alex is going to be talking about overrated and underrated actors. We're going to talk about movies. We're going to have a worst company update, and then top 5.
Cool.
So let's start off with some emails. What's the haps on the emails?
Well, we got a couple emails. The first one's from John. He was talking about... I forgot what we were talking about that golden turd building in...
Yeah, that's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
It's the Ashley Beer Hall. Apparently, it's supposed to be like foam on top of a beer, and he was saying they have strange stuff in there, some different beers and whatnot. He was also talking about the trader, the Japanese trader who got fined or whatever. Apparently, China, South Korea, and Japan have a lot of corruption in the business place. So,
shocking.
yeah,
Cronyism would happen.
yeah. And he says the Japanese legal system's kind of weird because I guess like they stigmatize you. It's like almost guilty until proven innocent, sort of there. So.
So basically, it's like what we do with a perp walk. Say,
Yeah.
hey, look at this guy. He's totally guilty. Perp
Yeah.
walk.
Yeah. Sonny sent us an email asking if Benson had ever heard of the band Andrew Jackson Jihad.
I have, but I've never really listened to their music. I recognize the name.
I've seen them live twice as they opened for other bands I was seeing.
Were they
were
like-
pretty good. They're okay.
I know I had a friend or two who liked them, and they would talk about them sometimes, but I didn't really know.
They're like an acoustic two-piece, and
Yeah.
one of them has a stand-up bass, and the other one had an acoustic guitar. The second time I saw them, I was very, very drunk. I literally lived right next to this place called the Clubhouse, which doesn't exist anymore because there was a mass shooting there.
Yes.
But I lived like 10 minutes away, so I walked there drunk. I got even more drunk, and then I walked home very drunk. So I don't remember that show too well.
I think there's consistently, as you get older, you like acoustic music more.
Yeah, and
Yeah, most
country.
people. Well, I don't like
Dude, you know, I drive sometimes home from work, and it's like, got my pickup truck and a dog. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I totally understand this.
You don't have a pickup truck. You have a dog now, though.
Yeah, I need to get a pickup truck so I can relate more.
Yeah, good idea.
Steve sent us an email. He was talking about how he agreed with both Kevin and Mike about the whole tax thing we were talking
Incentive
about.
versus penalty.
Yeah, it's the same thing, really. It's just where the money goes and comes from.
Yeah, his point is like that's why counterfeiting money is just as illegal as stealing money, and I'm like, it makes sense, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
I was looking at more like I agree with Kevin that like in a literal sense they're not the same thing. I think though that the consequence is the same.
Yeah, the end results.
Yeah. So I think that's why he was agreeing with both of us. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
We got some voicemails.
We've got some voicemails as well. Here, I'll just go ahead and play the first one.
Tipping 40s, I'm just calling right now. Went to see the Hunger Games today. And I know that you're going to give me shit about that probably, but that's aside from the fact, what I want to talk about right now is I saw 3 previews. There were 3 previews in a row. I don't know if the first one was the Tim Burton movie, but the other 2 were. It was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs remake, gritty, whatever. What the fuck is that
remake?
shit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Second movie
There's 2 of them
was
Jesus.
what was it again? It was that remake of like Creepy Hollows or whatever, where the vampires in the 70s. And then there was Abraham
Tim
Lincoln
Burton
Vampire
movie.
Hunter. What the fuck, Tim Burton? Seriously, like 3 or 2 movies, and
Tim
you know,
Burton sucks.
like you guys like agree with me that Tim Burton needs to stop making movies, right? I don't know.
Yes.
After Alice in Wonderland, I don't really give a shit, but Anyway, yeah, that's about it. Bye.
Okay. I almost universally hate Tim Burton's movies. There's only 3 of them that I really like. And that's Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Batman, and Big Fish. All his other movies,
Big Fish is his best movie.
I think are mediocre to terrible. Some of his movies are fucking.
I think
horse
he's
shit.
my most hated director probably. I hate all his fucking movies. So
Yeah, I think that new movie looks like
and they make so much money.
So
It's ridiculous how much money they make.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either. There's not really much to say about him that I haven't already said at some point or another, but he's just ridiculously overrated. Like, it doesn't even make sense how much people
No,
love
Edward
his
Scissorhands
movies.
is amazing.
Yeah, and that's what I hear all the time. And then you watch it and you're like, I don't get it. It's just not that great.
The one interesting thing is I don't know if he was involved with either of the other movies. I know he's not with Snow White, but that third one I'm not sure about. Maybe he's a producer.
What,
on
Abraham
it.
Lincoln?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think so. But this whole like nerd goth horror like genre blending movies, all these things coming out like, oh, a horror that's a comedy or a creepy movie that's a they always fucking suck. Which one's good? I don't know.
Here's what I don't get. Why are there 2 Snow White stories like being made? Well, 2
Because Alice in Wonderland.
And you know why? I'm gonna blow your mind. It's because it's free domain. That's why. Snow White's a free domain story
with a big pull because of Disney's original one.
Yeah, and basically probably both of them at the same time went after it. And actually Disney's not one
so
of the companies.
that's like Friends with Benefits versus what was that other one called?
No Strings Attached.
No Strings Attached. So it's fuck buddy movie. They both decided to do it, and then one of them was like, "Oh shit, there's another."
The difference with this one though is that one of them is a comedy that, well, I heard a painfully unfunny comedy, Mirror Mirror.
Shocking.
And then the other one is like real dark and gritty. So they are actually very different.
I don't know which one looks worse.
Snow White and the Huntsman.
I don't know. Mirror Mirror looks pretty bad.
But the Huntsman looks pretty bad too.
Yes, it does. That trailer is hilarious.
Yeah,
it's so
bad.
Funny.
I gotta say,
awful.
like, I think there's some great Indian directors, but I almost instantly have apprehension when I see an Indian director tied to a movie. It's like, oh, well, story is like the 5th most important thing in this, and that's exactly what Mirror Mirror was. Because everyone's like, these sets are amazing. It's like, but there's literally no story at all, and the acting's kind of bad. It's like, well, how much is that going to distract me before I give up on it? So, anyways, Tim Burton's the same way though. He's all flash, no substance.
He sucks. Yeah. All right, second voicemail.
Long-time viewer here, and you guys were talking about the list of words that couldn't be used in the New York school systems. Well, I managed to find a list of the 50 words, and some of the ones you missed are even more hilarious. For example, here are the best 6 I found. Computers in the home, so apparently that'll offend poor people or something. Homes with swimming pools, once again, for poor people. Parapsychology, which I didn't even realize would be featured on any science exam. That's like the study of the occult. Vermin, like rats and roaches. And one of my favorites is gambling involving money, which means that I guess if you like bet your wife, it's okay. And rock and roll music. Seriously, rock and roll music and rap music. What is this? Seriously, like 1956?
Yeah, exactly.
Totally ridiculous. I just thought you guys would appreciate it. Love the podcast.
They saw Blackboard Jungle and they were like, oh, gee, the rock music gets them out of control. Rock around the clock.
Thank you for the voicemail. That's actually really interesting. And
rock.
Some of those are pretty funny, but yeah, your rock and roll is like...
3 kids went to a jamboree.
Yeah, it's like, what is... Who's offended by the words rock and roll? Who on earth is offended by that?
No.
I can't.
Vermin.
Gordon Lightfoot.
Computer in the home.
Wow. 70s music artist reference. That's
terrible. All right.
So let's go on to beer of the week. I'm picking a Leinenkugel, and it's called Summer Shandy. And I gotta say, usually I don't love the Leinenkugels because they're big on putting fruit in their beer, right? That's kind of what they do. And oftentimes they're too fruity. They're just kind of ridiculously fruity. Like they have like a blueberry one. It just tastes like blueberries.
I never liked their Hefeweizen because it's too sugary.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So-
not a big fan of them.
Yeah. So actually, my wife bought this summer shandy one. I was a little hesitant, but this one has lemon, so I'm like, man, maybe it won't be too sweet. And I gotta say, it was very, very good. Nice and acidic. It's a nice summer beer because a lot of summer beers are like, Peronis and stuff. They're just they're crisp, but they don't have a lot of flavor. This
Kronenberg.
Yeah, it's really nice to have this beer because it has this nice wheat, but it doesn't feel too heavy, and then it has this real acid. I mean, the lemonade isn't too sweet. It's really, really acidic, which I like.
That's good.
So I'd recommend it, and it's pretty cheap. It's like $13 a 12-pack.
Yeah, Leinenkugel's usually pretty cheap.
I tried looking it up on Beer Advocate, but I don't know how to spell Leinenkugel, so.
I don't know how.
Yeah.
Leigen.
No, there's not.
Well, you're way off already.
You spelled Leigen
Yeah.
something. I don't know what you're doing. Okay. Sounds like a good beer.
Yeah, I would recommend it, though. It's a nice summer beer, and, it's already 90 degrees in Phoenix, so I'm drinking summer beer
getting up there.
a little early this
getting
year.
up
Oh, that's like Unibrew Terrible, terrible, whatever the fuck to drink. So
It's
I don't
really
care.
So, we're going to go to our first segment where Benson talks about something none of us know what he's going to talk about. Something about painting.
It was a secret because it's a current event, and like I said, it's about painting. But really, what it's about is, I don't know if any of you guys heard, but on Friday, Thomas Kincaid died.
I did hear about this.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
So he can't be selling off any of those shitty fucking cottage paintings.
Oh, don't worry, he still can.
Now they're worth more money.
So anyway, just as a preface, all the sound clips I have are from the same 60 Minutes segment they did on Thomas Kincaid. It's from 2001. I tried to find some more clips of him
Do
talking.
you know what month? Because I think if it was before September 11th, it may have been the cause of them crashing planes.
That's a
into buildings.
possibility. I'm assuming it was before September 11th because after it, they probably didn't do any segments on
Yeah,
Thomas
like interest
Kincaid.
pieces.
So I wish I could have found a few more clips of him talking outside of that, but
Yeah.
these ones are pretty good. They'll show you exactly how I feel about Thomas Kincaid, I think.
So probably one of the most successful artists of.
Undoubtedly the most successful artist.
When you measure success by monetary gain, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I measure it.
I'll go into that. Don't worry. So Thomas Kincaid is the painter of light, as he likes to be called, and he
So
died.
he's anybody.
Yeah, well, he died on Friday of natural causes, which means probably a heart attack because
Cocaine.
I think he died of a heart attack. He was a pretty big guy,
Yeah, he was.
so it's not shocking. But he was pretty young though. I mean, he was like in his 50s, So now, normally I wouldn't make a big deal out of someone dying when I really don't care less about them. There's no way I could not care any less about Thomas Kincaid. But I wanted to discuss his art and how people feel about it because I think that he's kind of like he stands alone in the field of painting. I think because of his success, and it's kind of funny to hear what his attitude toward it.
Would you call him like the Stephanie Myers of painters?
No, actually, I have a comparison that I think is more applicable.
Okay.
Though that's not a bad one, really.
I was going to say Stephen King, but sure.
Yeah.
Stephanie Myers works.
Because Stephanie Meyer's self-insertion, like she basically is like, I want to be this person, fucking vampires or whatever.
Yeah.
But his paintings are like,
I want to be this
makes
fucking
other
cottage.
people. I'll tell you about it. So I'll tell you about it. All right. So anyway, if you don't know him, you've probably seen his paintings, whether you know it or not. Most likely in your grandma's house, because. What he does is Thomas Kincaid paints stuff, and then he has factories do massive reprints of his paintings, and they're sold in homes all over the place. I mean, he is the most collected painter who has ever lived, and we're talking like every other painter you can think of, like off the top of your head. He's sold more paintings than all of them combined.
Well, what about the guy who makes the Pokemon cards? Because, I mean, that's technically art.
Yeah, but that's not collected art. That's collected for the cards. That's not an artwork thing.
Speak for yourself.
Maybe Pokemon pictures.
Charizard's pretty sweet.
So anyway, he's drawn a lot of criticism throughout the years because his paintings are printed in mass and then sold at outlets. And
He even has an outlet store.
yes, he does. Now, we've discussed in the past here why we don't talk about music much, and I feel kind of the same about art, like visual art, which is that, the reaction response is generally different for everyone, so it's kind of impossible.
Super varying opinions.
Yeah, you can't classify a painting as good or bad, because what's great to someone could be just shit to another person, so it doesn't matter. But there's still a line, I think. And, for example, though, I'm sure there's people out there who are, like, singing praises for Megadeth album cover artwork or something. They're like, man, these are great.
Yeah, those are pretty awesome.
And if I look at those, I just go, what is this? This is... So, there's no way to compare it. But, let's get real and admit something, though. This is what's important. You have to admit that painting is maybe the one career in which you're a way, way bigger commodity after you're dead. Now, music, you could say a little bit, like Kurt Cobain and stuff, but generally it's not the case.
It's only if you die early.
Painting is the one. Like, when you die, your paintings are worth way more. So, this... The thing is, though, that's not really the case with Kincaid, because his paintings are so reprinted. I don't think that it will have the same effect, except for maybe the originals.
The originals will go up, and none of the prints.
But, now... In fact, really, if you want to get real about it, Kincaid was more of a businessman than an artist. He really was. And it's kind of funny, though, because he fancies himself an artist. And he, fancied, I guess, but, I think the comparison I draw with him is he feels kind of like Tim Buckley, who makes the webcomic Alt Control Delete, because all of his paintings are like, he
Copy
drops
paste.
the same things into all of his paintings, just in different combinations. It's like
trees.
Yeah, cabin,
maybe a river.
cabin,
river.
trees, bridge, creek, snow, and he takes like a group of those, and he just
Yeah, he
like,
permeates
this is
it.
what I'm going to do in this one.
Do
Yeah.
you think he even paints it, like, before he died? Do you think he just used Photoshop and copy-pasted it?
No,
This is like
all of them were
comic
originally
artist.
painted, actually.
Okay.
That's been proven. But he really, he's better at marketing than he is at actually painting the paintings. Like, it's not for artistic merit. It's to sell paintings, really. Which, whatever. But I guess the simplest way I can go about it is just to go ahead and play a clip of Kincaid.
Okay.
This is from his interview.
There's been million-seller books and million-seller CDs, but there hasn't been, till now, million-seller art. We have found a way to bring to millions of people an art that they can understand.
So you can tell what he feels about his fans.
They're idiots.
He thinks they're stupid.
Yeah.
He obviously thinks they're idiots because he's like, hey, people can understand this art. It's a cabin in the woods. But then the best part, and I'll wait till a little later to explain that. But now, if these aren't the words of a businessman, though, I don't know what are. Like
He sounds like a businessman.
Yeah, and he even used the proverbial "we" to refer to his company instead of himself.
Yeah, I know.
Which is a painter.
Yeah.
He's a painter. Who else did it?
Exactly.
So here's another clip of Kincaid.
Everyone can identify with a fragrant garden, with the beauty of sunset, with the quiet of nature, with a warm and cozy cottage.
So
I can't. I've
Now-
never been to a fucking cottage.
Well, listen, generally the point of art, though, and you can disagree with me at any time if you want, but generally the point of art is to evoke an emotional response in the viewer. It doesn't matter what type of art, whether the response is joy, whether it's like laughter or comfort, sadness, anger, whatever else you feel. The point is that you're supposed to feel something.
Well, maybe the thing he wants you to feel is, this is pretty boring to look at.
Well, no. What it is his paintings are brilliant in a way, I think, because they bring out the most simple response that is possible to bring out with a painting, which
Apathy?
is I call it what I call it is the ooh pretty effect. People go, ooh, that looks nice. Now no one cares about what's in they just go, these colors are
Should it just
sparkly.
be called Prozac oil paintings? Like
It kind of is. It really kind of is like that. And that's smart if you want to sell paintings. It's not smart if you want to be a real artist, but hey, no one fucking cares about that anymore. They just want to sell paintings.
I don't understand these melting clocks, but this cabin really makes me feel good.
Well, actually, I got some more interesting stuff later. So anyway, now when you look at his paintings, you notice that they're really vibrant. They use plenty of bright but inoffensive colors, so they're not like overused. Like they're just like bright.
Lots
it's always
of
bright.
blues.
Yeah, blues, yellows, like a lot of pastel stuff. So anyway, they're always devoid of anything remotely offensive or shocking in subject matter also, which usually what his paintings are about is like Christian themes and log cabins in the woods. That's like most of his paintings.
Yeah, but what you don't know is that the guy living in the log cabin was Ted Kaczynski. So that's
what
lots
I
of other
say.
meetings.
That's crazy.
Just him peeking out the window.
There's blood on the back of the frame.
Yeah.
Silly.
Making bombs.
So he generally just draws the same things over and over. But here's what I love. This is maybe my funniest thing, and I don't have a quote, but I have a quote, but I don't have a clip. But this ought to give a little perspective on the type of people who loved Thomas Kinkade. Here's a quote by one of his fans, by a person who loves his paintings and collects them. I'll look at a painting of one of his cottages, and I'll see there's smoke coming out of the fireplace. And I'll begin to wonder, who's inside there, and what are they doing?
No one's
Do they have hot chocolate?
Have you guys ever wondered that?
Is it a cold night? And they're enjoying themselves. So it kind of lets you think a little more about that scene and what you'd be doing if you were actually there.
What?
I know. These are the people who are buying. Okay, these are the people that buy them.
I don't think
most
I
of the
get
people
Thomas
that buy
Kinkade.
them. Most of the people that buy them put them in their house because it looks nice and they need something above their mantle. But there is a group of people who literally go to Thomas Kinkade shows, and they are gigantic fans of Thomas Kinkade. Like they love
He's
his
profound.
Yes, they think he's
I don't
amazing.
think we understand it on the level that they do.
Maybe they're just smarter. Yeah.
What happens when these people see Bob Ross make these paintings in like 20 minutes? Like, oh my god, it's that easy?
Yeah, right. I know. If you're really good at painting and you know how to, like, he's painting the same things over and over. Obviously, they're gonna look nice. He's painting the same tree a billion times. It's just in a different place.
I'm gonna tell some people stuff about people who live in woods because we were from a rural area. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
They
too,
don't
but it was
drink hot
desert.
chocolate.
No one lives in a
They
cottage.
don't act like fucking Michael Landon in Little House on the Prairie. They're usually making grain alcohol and shooting their guns
Or
and
methamphetamine.
fucking, and they don't want you to fucking
Yeah.
bother them. And that's it. They don't fucking drink hot chocolate. No one does that shit.
I
alcohol.
never saw anyone who lived in a cottage.
Well,
Like,
I've
out
known
there.
some people who lived in cabins,
Right.
All of them drank alcohol.
Well, I think it's
They did
supposed to
not
be
drink hot chocolate.
It's supposed to be people that go on vacation cabins. And
Well, these are
actually
wholesome
live in them.
people, though. These are the type of people who are buying Christian-themed paintings, because he does make a lot of Christian-themed paintings, and he's drawn criticism for that, too, because...
Like what? I didn't know this.
Oh, yeah, he's done paintings of, like, Mary...
Jesus in the cabin. In the
I don't
woods.
think he does...
Why is he, why is he getting criticized for that? He can paint whatever the fuck he wants.
Well, no, he's been criticized because there's no real proof that he's like a devout Christian or anything. He just draws them to
feeding
sell
the
more
audience.
paintings.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But that's fine. Whatever.
Jesus splitting wood.
Well, I mean, someone looking at a painting of a log cabin, they start thinking about someone inside drinking hot chocolate. These are the type of people who will buy a Christian painting. They don't fucking care. If it's got a cross on it, they'll put it on there. They're like, yeah, whatever, put it in the house. So anyway, now the thing about Kinkade that I think is kind of unusual, though, is that he doesn't respect other artists. And I think this is what is really amazing to me about this guy, is that he's the most successful artist who ever lived, like painter, at this point anyway. And he literally does not like art, I don't think, because, and there's a lot of reasons I can give you, but basically the big thing is he has a very big reputation for talking shit about other painters and for heckling performers during shows.
What?
Yes,
Really?
he does, yes. And the most famous is an incident that you may have heard of back from like 2006 where he interrupted a Siegfried and Roy show. He kept yelling the word codpiece. It's true. He kept yelling
This
the word
guy's awesome.
He
codpiece.
must have been drunk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was drunk. Well, he's a drinker. Yeah. Was. But there's,
Cabin in the woods.
but here's yeah, right. This is a hot chocolate, man. Actually, grew up in California, where there are no cabins in any woods. But hey,
Yes, there are.
So here's a little clip of Thomas Kinkade talking about undoubtedly one of the most famous artists of all time, Pablo Picasso.
Okay.
Picasso, that titan of 20th century art, was a rank amateur when it came to marketing. How do you regard Picasso?
I don't believe in time that he will be regarded as the titan that he is now. He is a man of great talent who, to me, used it to create 3 Picassos before breakfast because he could get $10,000 each for them.
You may not create 3 Kincaids before breakfast, but you may sell 30,000 before lunch.
Now, I don't know if Morley Safer was insulting him or complimenting
I
him.
think he was insulting.
It was a
him.
backhanded compliment.
They're all just talking about it in terms of money. They're not talking about anything in terms of
money.
art at all.
And this is Thomas Kincade. That's him. He does not give a fuck about painting. Yeah. He just learned to paint so he could sell the paintings.
Good for him, man. He's
money.
smart. Shit.
He is smart, but he's also an asshole.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
But, you know, in 2008, actually, you may not have heard about this, a film was made about his inspiration as a painter, and it went straight to video. But this film was called Thomas Kincaid's Christmas Cottage.
Oh, wow.
So we have to find this film.
Yeah, I gotta watch this movie. But it had both Peter O'Toole and Marcia Gay Harden in it.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know, but it did. It got delayed for a year after its release, or not its release, but after it was finished because they had problem with securing music rights.
Wow.
So I'm sure whoever had their music in this was like, wait, what the fuck is this shit? I don't want this.
The movie
Peter
inspired
O'Toole
by
straight to
painting.
video.
Yeah, of a cottage. Okay. So obviously, I mean, the fact that he didn't care much for other artists is pretty much the example of him leaning toward business rather than painting.
Well, every clip you've gotten, he hasn't even talked about painting. He's talked about marketing.
He never
and
talks about
business.
painting, yeah. So, you know, he just didn't care about art unless it was purchased in a premium frame for $99.99. You know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But the guy, I will say, he's a brilliant businessman. Well, he was a brilliant businessman. But I more so, all I wanted to really talk about was the people who really love his paintings, because those people, that's bottom rung, man. Like, I don't understand it. I just don't get it. I don't know what you guys. I just wanted to know what you guys think about.
Honestly, I can't remember any of his paintings off the top of my head. So,
just imagine a cottage that you made up in your head. And
well, all of his none of his paintings had like distinct names. They were all like Teacup Cottage in the woods and stuff like that. Like
okay. Do you know the shirt with the 3 wolves on it in the snow? It was like a big internet.
There's
meme.
a lot of wolf shirts with movies.
Yeah. Just take out the wolves and you have a Thomas Kincaid.
It's ridiculous.
3 cabin woods.
Yeah, just 3 cabins next to each other at different angles.
Yeah.
Check out my expertise on perspective.
Someone get on that shirt, please.
Yeah.
He does have a his company. I mean, he runs a company that basically does all the prints and shit by himself. Well, yeah, I keep referring, but it was Friday, so.
I bet you he has a plan. Like, he probably saw Tupac when he died, and he had all this extra music. And he went, "Shit, man, I'll just have like lost tapes, lost paintings."
But why would you care though? They're gonna die.
No, because he
wants his business
family
to
or
continue.
Something. Yeah,
I'm sure.
his legacy.
The guy is. I mean, like he literally just does not ever need to paint another painting to keep selling them. Though it doesn't matter. He has so many. Like, his company is so good with reprints and shit like that. They can just they'll sell the same painting over and over. I mean, he's sold paintings, like prints of the same painting, thousands and thousands and thousands of them. Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter.
Like, do you get these paintings like in a store, or is there like a mail order catalog or something?
There actually is. There are Kincaid outlet stores.
Yeah,
you can
there's
buy
one
them.
in Prescott, actually.
There is one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's Prescott.
There are Kincaid outlet stores. There is you can order them online from his website, and I think that you can also order them in certain catalogs and stuff too. So yeah, he pretty much covered all the bases. Like, you can buy them pretty easily. It's not hard to find Kincaid
I have some blank
paintings.
walls in my apartment.
But I did see during that 60 Minutes interview, real quick before we move on, I did see some of the people who are huge fans of him, and they were talking about it, and they were like, "This is where he went," or Yeah, it'll be like, this is the area he grew up in. It's where he drew his inspiration. And there will be a house, and it's great. There's a house, and then it shows the painting, and it's the exact same house, except it's just in the woods. And it's like... and the best thing is that people are like, this is amazing. It's like stepping into a Kincaid painting.
Oh, no!
No, it isn't. What is it? There's no Kincaid paintings that are in suburban California neighborhoods, I don't think.
Does he use, like, references and just, like, trace shit, or what?
I don't think he traces. I've seen him painting. Like, I've actually seen him physically painting, and it looked like he knew what he was doing. Like, he was a good painter, but... I think that he legitimately, like, I'm sure that some of them he basically...
Well, I said he's just like Bob Ross, where he's just drawing trees and houses. There's like a true meaning behind it. He's like, I'm just going to draw this stuff.
Well, yeah, the difference. Bob Ross wasn't trying to sell millions of paintings. He was trying to instruct people how to do it.
I'm not shitting on Bob Ross. I'm saying that Thomas Kincaid just like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to draw this, and there you go.
He was a master of
marketing. Like, oh, this is my house. This is the tree where I grew up. He's not doing that.
Yeah. But, yeah, there was one guy who was like, this is where Kincaid grew up. I mean, this is where everything happened. This is where all his paintings came from. It's like, this is my entire life right here. That's what the guy said. I was like...
You know what he should say? He should look at a TV and go, oh, this is where he learned about the cabin in the woods. Because all his ideas are fabricated nonsense that don't exist.
Hey, man, sure kicks the shit out of Picasso,
They're fucking stereotypes. So he got it from television. That was his inspiration. It wasn't his fucking house. It was him watching Bonanza or whatever fucking shit he was watching, and that's where he got it from.
Probably. So anyway, I'm all done with Kincaid here, but rest in peace, Thomas Kincaid. You really, truly were an amazing businessman and a terrible painter.
Now, do you think anyone will ever copy him? Like, copy his
idea?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure someone down the line will eventually go, oh, well, I can just sell these in fucking bulk, like
I'm going to
Kincaid
paint,
did.
well, I guess I Can't Has Cheeseburgers kind of a copy with lolcats, right? I mean, it's kind of...
that's a stretch. But
soulless cat photos.
No, it's interesting. The cat's upside down.
And has a cheeseburger.
And it says, oh, noes, I'm upside downs.
Oh, God.
So anyways... let's go on to Alex's segment about overrated and underrated actors. We're talking about overrated people a lot today, so...
Yeah, sorry I couldn't do the teaching people for gun laws, but I'll do it next week.
He's been sick.
I'm doing this one instead. So I want everyone here to think of an overrated actor and an underrated actor that they think is overrated or underrated. You can pick a joke one if you want, whatever. Just think of something.
Okay.
But I'll start out. I want everyone to pick an overrated one first, so it's hard to think of an underrated one, I think.
Just actor?
Actor, actress.
Well, yeah, just actor.
No, not director or writer or anything like that.
Director would be way easier.
Yeah,
that'd be
super
really
easy.
easy.
So I've always thought this actor is overrated. I never really he's fine and stuff. Denzel Washington. I just don't see what the big deal is with him.
He's really good in a few movies and consistently in bad movies.
I will say
that's his problem. He's fine in most movies, but he's lazy. He picks the
money
same
roles.
fucking role
They're money
over
roles.
and over again.
Well,
Yeah.
I've never seen Malcolm X as well. Like the only one I've
awesome.
that I haven't
That's
seen
the movie
from
he's
him.
probably best in.
But he did win an
so.
Oscar for Training Day. I was like, really?
He's better in
that good of a
He's
movie.
good.
He's better in Malcolm X than
He's
he
very
is.
good in it, but
He's better in Malcolm X than he is in
I
Training
don't know,
Day, though.
his acting style just kind of like, I'm just like, I just don't see it. He's almost I feel like he almost has a tiny bit of Shatner to him the way he acts. Like he's almost kind of slow all the time and stuff. I
think it's because he picks these fucking Tony Scott movies where like John Q or like Deja Vu.
Well, have you seen what's that movie with where he's the American Gangster?
Yeah,
The movie
that was
sucked.
good. I thought.
No,
I didn't
it
like
was
it.
boring as hell.
I thought it was fucking
boring
as fuck.
Oh, so boring.
Russell
I
Crowe
thought
was
it
in
was
that
pretty
too, and
good.
it was like, oh, it was lame. I don't know. I just get bored with all his movies. I don't know why. Super bored. So
There was naked ladies
I
cutting
mean, I'm not
heroin.
I'm not at all saying he's a bad actor. He's good, but
Yeah. But he's like well regarded. Yeah.
not as much now. He seems to kind of faded away. But I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit.
Anyone got their overrated one?
Do you want me to go next?
Go for it.
I may take. No, actually, I won't take yours because I think I know who you'll say. Mia Farrow.
I knew you were going to say that.
Mia Farrow. You could also put Jane Fonda in that mix. Pretty much 70s actresses. These
Just tell the
these
scene. Just tell the
women-
scene you're thinking of.
Oh, sister, mother. Yeah, it's trying to. I mean, I think that scene kind of dramatically hurts that movie, and every scene she's in is terrible. But actually, the first time I really got on the Mia Farrow hate wagon was seeing The Great Gatsby. Oh. She is atrocious.
Yeah, I remember that.
She's distracted.
That's with Robert Redford, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Everyone else, fine. But she's in the movie so much, and you're like, I can't deal. Like, she's acting like she's in a high school play. And I got in an argument with my teacher. I'm like, they're like, so what do you think of the movie? And I raised my hand, and I was just like, she's one of the worst actors. This is one of the worst performances I've ever seen. Like, literally, probably the top 10 or 20. And she goes, no, she's trying to play that person because that character was ridiculous in the book. And I'm like, no, that's not an excuse. No one would act like that. Also, talkies hadn't started yet, so how would she have a basis on how to overact?
Yeah,
she go to plays, I guess, but it doesn't make any sense. I hate Mia Farrow a lot.
Someone else.
He's never been very quiet about his Mia Farrow.
But honestly, when Woody Allen had sex with that 14-year-old South Korean girl, Soon Yi, I was kind of like, shit, I'd probably be driven to just have sex with underage Korean women too if I was married to Mia Farrow.
That's the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life.
Hey, he was married to her for over 20 years. I can't imagine, oh, Woody, I love your movie. And he'd be like, please go away. Oh.
He married her.
Maybe I know, fuck him. He's an idiot. But.
Fair enough, I guess. Oh God, there's so many I could say. Overrated actors. How about let's go with Mel Gibson?
Oh no, yes.
No.
Thank you.
He's awesome.
No, Mel Gibson is terrible.
He's super overrated, but yeah, I think it's hilarious.
Well, the thing is, I've seen him be good in stuff. I have. You might not believe it.
Well, that's like Nick Cage.
You know, he was actually really good in The Beaver, which you didn't see.
Yeah, I did see that.
And the
he's
problem
okay in Braveheart. Okay, I think he's okay.
Yeah.
Not great.
What about USA Braveheart? The Patriot.
The Patriot. Terrible in that. He's dude. I watched The Road Warrior 2 recently.
The Road Warrior 2?
Mad Max
2, The Road Warrior.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm like, okay.
But dude, he is terrible in that movie. I'm like, I don't understand how this movie got so big. Like he's off the rails shit on that.
He sucks.
Dude, and then the best example is Lethal Weapon 1.
He's ridiculous in that. Like he's
when he's acting crazy.
I don't
think you can take for when you pick an overrated actor, you can't pick their worst movie role. You're supposed to pick roles that people think they're good in, which they aren't.
Well, Braveheart I think is a good example. Yeah. I think he's pretty mediocre.
People do think he's really good in Lethal Weapon 1, though.
Do they?
Yes.
Yes,
they do.
I think that crazy scene's classic.
Yeah, it's considered
crazy.
Yeah, it's considered a classic scene in action movies. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Is that which one are you talking about? When he jumps off the roof, or when
he's telling the cop off or whatever?
Oh
he's
bug-eyed.
Right. I'm crazy, and it's great because Loaded Weapon, National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon, makes fun of that scene, and it's actually not as ridiculous as the original scene.
Yeah,
which is insane.
Yeah, I picked Liam Neeson. I don't understand how he's still getting roles.
Yeah,
he does do the same thing over and over.
Yes, he does.
I think he has the same problem as Denzel. I think he can be pretty good, but he picks.
I think he just
really
has one
roles.
acting style.
Yeah.
He just acts the same way in every single movie.
That's true.
Yeah, I will agree with that. Actually, he does act the same in every movie, but sometimes the movie works perfectly for it,
and
other times it doesn't at all, and it just sucks.
But he was one of the best people in the Star Wars prequels, mainly because his boring.
You know what I'm going to say? I completely disagree with you on that. And I don't think the Star Wars prequels had any good acting in it. No. But I don't think he was even a step above anyone else. He was fucking shit. He took a boring-ass character and he kept him just as boring as he was written. He was not any more interesting.
But see, he didn't offend me.
Yeah, he wasn't. It didn't make me pissed off, I guess.
But how do you say, I hate sand, it gets everywhere, without sounding like a fucking idiot?
Well, I think he just said to George, I'm not saying that.
Hayden Christensen sucks, but he honestly, I couldn't fucking care less about him compared to Qui-Gon Jinn. I still think more interesting Qui-Gon Jinn.
Hayden Christensen's my underrated actor.
Yeah, okay.
Man, underrated's a little bit tougher.
I have
underrated is harder.
I don't know. I have one that's kind of not really
got one.
underrated anymore in terms of film anyway, because he's on TV a lot. I think Bryan Cranston is crazy fucking good. And he needs to get some lead roles in some films.
I think until like 2-3 years ago, I would agree with you. Yeah, but now he's got a lot of attention.
But he still hasn't getting any like lead roles or big roles in films at all.
Because he's too old. That's why.
Yeah. Well,
But
also
the thing about him
still,
is he can do comedic roles and dramatic roles.
Yeah, I mean,
so well.
he is the best thing in Malcolm in the Middle by it.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
he's great in that.
I could see him picking up a lot of roles after Breaking Bad ends. I could see that happening. He was in Drive. He was good in that, but he was kind of a small part.
I want to see him get just like a lead role or something though, because there's a lot of older guys that get lead roles all the time. So
yeah, but they were already established.
Yeah.
Usually, that's the problem. He's not. He has to make that jump into film, but he's not a marquee guy yet.
Yeah.
Like Jack Nicholson, all they do is they take him, and he's like 1,000 years old now, and they go, let's pair him up with a 30-year-old woman. So it's appealing, and it's like, ugh.
I'm surprised he didn't say Diane Keaton for yours too. For overrated.
I thought he was going to say.
I
thought Benson
or
was
Rosario
gonna say
Dawson.
Diane Keaton.
I don't
think she's rated.
Yeah.
Though.
I don't think Diane Keaton at this point though is really talked about that much, and so I didn't pick her. But if you want the actress I hate more than any other actress on her, it's probably Diane Keaton. I can't stand her.
But
she's my Mia Farrow for you. Like I might hate her maybe more than you hate Mia Farrow. I cannot even stand her talking for like 1 second. She's just the worst actress.
I don't know what it is about the 70s, because the 70s was a time when movies were supposed to become subdued, and the directing got subdued, male acting got subdued, but then the guys were like, I kind of want to get some pussy. This girl's hot. Diane Keaton was, but some of the other girls were. And it's like, this girl's hot. Hey, can you act? No, you can't. I'm going to still use you, though, because I want to try to bang you. Because a lot of those directors ended up dating the actresses and stuff.
They did a lot, yeah.
Because it seemed like that decade, like, the female acting was not great a lot of times.
All right, well, let's keep talking.
Underrated.
I don't know if this would count as underrated, but she never got to be a big
Katherine
actress. No.
That's her, yep.
No. It's, I would say... underrated is Emily Watson.
She's great.
In Breaking the Waves, but she was also in The Lucian Defense and lots of other movies. I've only seen her bad in one movie, and every other movie she's fantastic. But
what was the bad one?
I can't remember the name of it, but she plays like this quirky girl that's like, it's like a one-word name. I saw it. It's not good. But she's great, and she never got pull, I think, because she wasn't attractive enough, and so it was just kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, you're not pretty enough, sorry, you're not going to get the better roles, and she'll pop up here and there, but for the most part she doesn't get in anything. But
yeah, I mean, she's had a ton of roles, but she just didn't really pick up the leading actress
and
thing.
you'll see her in big movies, but she's always in a supporting role, and it's so funny because it's like there'll be this lead actor against her, like in Red Dragon, which I don't like that much, but I think she's very good in it.
Yeah.
And Edward Norton's like acting with her, and Edward Norton's not that bad, but she's outclassing him hardcore, and she's the backup. She's not. It's almost like a mismatch. You don't want your secondary.
You don't want
actor.
one of them to be that much better. Yeah. So it hurts the movie. So people go, why am I watching this? That's another person.
Because instead they just go, man, this lead isn't very good.
Yeah, that's what they do, yeah.
They don't go, oh, the supporting actor's great.
Underrated. Well, I said it before. My personal pick is probably John Turturro.
Yeah.
I love John Turturro.
He's great in Transformers.
He is... You know what?
Damage.
He sucks in Transformers.
Mr. Deeds.
And he sucks in Mr. Deeds at the same time... He doesn't.
He needs to make money.
He never. Well, he does, but he never sucks worse than the script, though. He never brings down a script ever.
No.
He has never done it. Every time. What?
What's that movie called? The one. It's a Marx Brothers remake. What is it like? Oh fuck.
I don't know if I saw
Brain
that.
Damage. I can't remember. It's terrible.
I don't think I've seen
probably
that.
his worst movie.
But he doesn't really get a lot of leading roles. He's been in a couple. His biggest one was probably Barton Fink. That's his biggest leading role. And that was back in the early 90s. If you need proof that he's an amazing actor, you can watch that because he is incredible in it. But he is just. I mean, he takes every role he gets and he makes it twice as good usually. Like if
Jesus.
Yeah, the Jesus. Yeah, I mean he's just a great actor, and he's really good at doing small parts and making them stand out. Like everyone remembers that character, even though he is maybe the most unimportant named character in the movie. He has no effect.
Distraction.
He has literally no effect on the plot of the movie at all, and yet people always remember him because he's amazing. He's funny.
No, I've been trying to think of actors that haven't had a bad movie that I can think of, and like only one actor I can think of.
That's rare.
Jeff Bridges. I don't know any movies he's been bad in.
He's done some action movies, hasn't he?
I don't know.
He was in the second Tron movie. I never saw that.
He was good in that. I thought he was a fucking hippie in it. It was funny.
He was in Iron Man.
Oh, that movie sucked. Yeah, he was bald with a fucking
Yeah, he was bad in that.
He wasn't
actually.
that good in
He
that.
was pretty bad in that movie.
I picked for underrated Sean Bean. Again, a character is always in supporting roles, never a lead.
Yeah,
That's actually a pretty good one.
Well, even when he is a lead.
Well, I don't know. I think like a lot of movies kill him off too quickly.
No, he has a reputation for dying.
I agree. Even when he's in
movies.
like small bit parts, like he was in Equilibrium. He was perfectly fine in that. The movie was like, but Christian Bale's like kind of shitty in that movie.
Yeah. He was fine in that. I think
Not a big fan of you.
he never gets any lead roles, and I think he actually has a decent range of.
What would you say
characters.
are his best roles that he's done?
Boromir? He did a good Boromir, I think.
Yeah.
Boromir was a good character.
Lord of the Rings, yeah.
I really liked him in GoldenEye.
He was decent in
I
GoldenEye.
thought he was a fun bad guy because he wasn't over the top. He acted like
I think that's
an agent.
I think
He acted
that's
like
more
an
of
agent.
the,
I think.
More of the fact that the last movies before that were all the Timothy Dalton ones, and they all had ridiculously stupid '80s plots.
Yeah,
So that could have been a reason too. But.
that probably didn't help.
That's the dishwasher.
So
Yeah.
I think that's the end of that segment, pretty much.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so we're going to just roll into movies. It was kind of an interesting weekend because Titanic 3D came out. And
It's only out for 2 weeks, right?
I think, it's not out for very long. It's doing pretty well, but it looks like it's going to end up losing to the Hunger Games, which is still going to go number one again, I guess.
Yeah, that's really killing.
Yeah.
It's killing, man.
You know, I got to say, it's getting great reviews.
Yeah,
I
it's
have not
supposed to
seen
be
it.
good.
Third week or second week for that?
Third. So third week in a row, which almost never happens
You know,
anymore.
I don't have a problem with people watching that. I don't think that it's at the same, like, it's not, because people go,
Twilight.
this is the new Twilight. And I'm like, no, it isn't.
No.
There's no similarities between that and
Those
Twilight.
books are, while not, like, beloved, like, by critics, they're still respected somewhat.
Oh yeah, they're considered to be pretty good, and I will say this about them: they're actually pretty like graphic for kids, for like young adult books. I mean, people die in them all the time. They get like killed, like they get their head chopped off and shit like that.
I just think the thing they did right is they got Jennifer Lawrence, who's fucking fantastic.
She's amazing. Yeah.
And
she was really great in Winter's Bone.
And they could have picked a different girl with more pull.
Oh yeah.
And they didn't. So kudos to them. And
I'll probably watch it. I mean, I'll probably watch it at some point.
Another
just
underrated
because
actress, Ellen Page. There you go.
Oh, yeah, Ellen Page is good.
Yeah.
She's really good.
She's starting to fall into same role syndrome though a little bit, which it's just too bad because I think she's really great.
It's hard to break out when you have a role like Juno. It's hard to like
the new Woody Allen movie. I mean, she's playing the same quirk.
I haven't seen it, but yeah, I've heard that. It's hard to push yourself out of that role once you're in it. But
the other movie that came out this weekend is American Reunion.
Yes, that
one of the
piece of shit.
strangest things. I mean,
when you heard this movie was going to come out, what did you think of it? Like,
okay, so when I heard about it, they're like, "Okay, we're making a new American Reunion with the whole cast." I'm like, "Okay." Like, it's going to be directed by the Harold and Kumar guys. I was like, "Oh, what? That's not really the same thing." Like to me, like I'm someone who thinks the first American Pie movie isn't that bad. The other ones are quite bad.
There are aspects of it that aren't that bad, and there are other aspects of it that are just like all the stuff with the MILF.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, it's so badly done.
But here's the thing too: when that came out, MILF was not. That didn't exist really. Like that wasn't a topic.
I think that really like started it.
Yeah. So
God.
So a lot of
thanks
jokes,
American Pie.
I know, a lot of, that created a lot of jokes that became passé, which isn't
You're right. That's not the fault of the
Yeah.
movie. That's actually good writing if it makes people remember it that well. And obviously it did because they've had how many sequels now and spin-offs?
Like 6 or 7.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I have a coworker who has every single one and watches them all the time.
4 real ones.
I saw the one where the cousin of Stifler goes to
that's
band.
terrible.
That movie was one of the worst movies I saw in a while. That was really bad.
I gotta say, when American Pie came out, there were a lot of people go like, "Oh, this was like the first teen movie that did this and this." There were tons of teen movies that came out. The Can't Hardly Wait, all these fucking movies that were like these light comedy things, and I hated every single one of them. And when I saw American Pie, I was like, "Wow, this is actually just so much better than those."
Yeah.
Like it just,
It's true.
it was so much better. But I just think it's, I can't think of another time when there were these actors in a time period that were really, really big. Then they fade away. Like almost all of them go away. And then they reunite them and people care. They're like, holy shit, they're coming back together. And I'm like, dude, Chris Klein's a joke. Like,
What about
Street Fighter
Rookie of the
movie's a
Year
joke.
guy?
Yeah, Rookie of the Year guy. It's like, that guy was baffling when he was in the first one. You're like, hey, that's Kinky Arm guy. Like from Rookie of the Year. Like
Yeah.
I was
Kid in King Arthur's Court.
Yeah, I was so...
Man,
the
that
first time I saw
movie.
that movie, I didn't know that was Rookie of the Year.
Tara
I was like,
Reid.
dude, I see... Yeah, Tara Reid. All these people... Everyone's like, oh, cool, they got the whole gang back together. I'm like, was it hard?
Yeah,
mean, like,
right.
what are you guys
Exactly.
doing?
Exactly. What exactly was
Who became
stopping
the biggest
them
one out of all
from getting
them?
together?
I guess Sean William
Scott by far.
Yeah, either that or Allison Hannigan, I guess. 'cause
Yeah, she's got a good TV gig going now, and
She's probably made more money than Sean William Scott because, well, TV is
he's had a
good
couple
money.
headliner movies though.
Yeah, he has.
So that can make you a big buck. Like Rundown, that probably made him a lot of money.
Yeah.
So who knows?
But anyways, I haven't been hearing good things about it. I hear it's a lot of rehash, like fan service. Like, hey, remember this? Well, here's a slightly different.
How much money did it
deal
make?
about that. It's still coming in, but it's going to be around 30 to 40 million probably.
The
It's good.
the best quote I can tell from the critics that I was reading before, and I had to look it up since you started talking about this movie. I was like, I got to find this quote. It's from the Minneapolis Star Tribune. Colin Covert said, "Rare is the movie that brings American Pie to mind and suffers by comparison, but here we have one." So there you go. That's American Reunion.
Hey,
in
you
a
want to
nutshell.
see Mina Suvari and Tara Reid again?
Yeah, who wants to see Tara Reid in anything now? Like she was. No one ever thought she was a good actress ever. No one's ever praised
She's pretty
her
great in
acting.
Alone in the Dark as a scientist.
Oh,
I find it so funny that she's in The Big Lebowski, and the best part is that she's perfect in it because
Yeah,
her
she's
bad
funny in
acting is exactly how
What they
that
needed.
character's supposed to act like. Like they just casted her perfectly.
And I guess lastly, we got to talk about Titanic 3D. You said you're seeing it with your girlfriend, right, Alex?
yeah, I'm seeing it with Kate.
Have fun
so-
spending $15 a ticket on that because that's.
Yeah, she wants to see
You
it.
can see it for
She
free.
wants to see it in IMAX.
I just.
So
I'm just confused. It wasn't an action movie, so what's the appeal of seeing action? Like
You can see people drown in 3D.
no, there's going to be 3D boobs. So I'm just going to reach out the screen and try to grab them.
Okay.
And then the smokestack's going to fall on the guy, and then I'll just fall asleep
That
after
would be
that.
funny, actually.
I'll
The
just fall
guy, when he
asleep.
falls, that'll look.
I wonder what the 3 is going to be like when he's reaching for Jack while he's drowning.
I gotta say though, one reason I would want to see this, and you kind of brought it up before we started recording, Benson, is that if anyone's going to do post 3D right, it would be James Cameron, right?
Oh, you're right about that.
Avatar
Does he have
3D,
anything-
I didn't like
does he have
Avatar,
anything
but
to do with
3D
this?
was great.
Oh yeah, it looked great.
But does James Cameron have anything to do with this post 3D?
No, he was directly involved. Actually, he bitches that post 3D looks like shit always. And actually, at first, he said it's not possible to do post 3D right. And then, of course, once money talks, then he's like, "Oh, actually, maybe you could do it."
Well, he said he did spend a ton of money, and they took a long time trying to
Yeah.
get it.
Well, he had,
I'm
to,
sure
he
he
had to
did.
fund his next
He's-
undersea expedition, so you got to
Yeah.
do something.
I just
God, I hate James Cameron so much. I
that's
hate
the
him.
only reason I would want to see it is I want to see if 3D actually looks good. Because I can't believe when I saw Yogi Bear 3D.
Oh my God.
Post 3D.
Why did you see that?
Dude,
We
it was
watched it.
funny.
We watched it because we thought it looked really terrible.
You went to
on
the
this
theater
screen.
and saw it?
No.
We saw it at my house. 'cause
Oh.
3D TV.
But
Okay.
it's post
I was like,
3D. So, yeah, he has a 3D.
I thought you guys went to the
TV.
theater. Oh my
No.
god, jeez.
Dude, best things come in bears.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
So,
the slogan.
Top 5.
We got an update for worst company in America. EA won.
Yeah, beat Bank of America.
Yeah. It came.
I don't understand why.
They had more than
People
a quarter
must really
million
hate
votes.
Origin or something.
But the reason it happens because 4chan ballot stuffed for EA.
Of course.
So
why?
Why did they pick EA over
Because
Sony, though?
4chan was paid by Bank of America. Fuck you guys. Fuck 4chan. I hate you.
Did they do that the whole way through?
no, they did it only for the last one, I believe. So.
You know what? This really hurt EA's stock, too.
Oh
And you know
yeah,
what?
it dropped to like 3%.
We need to hurt fucking Bank of America's stock because it's fucking bankrupt.
Yeah.
And you ruined that opportunity, so now it's just festering like a zombie bank still, fucking barely alive.
Fucking 4chan.
Yeah.
Fucking 4chan basically saved the bank.
You realize the
because
more
they're
you
pissed
the
about
more you
Mass Effect
complain
3.
about 4chan, the happier they are about
Right.
it. You realize
Good-
it.
good
They're
for
trolling
them.
everyone. Yeah.
They say they're fucking anonymous and they try to help things, but then they fucking do bullshit like have EA. They make fucking
didn't you watch
video
that
games.
Fox News article? It's for the lulz.
Yeah, I guess so.
Let's move on.
Oh.
So, top 5. We actually have 2 movie ones, or entertainment ones in a row. Number 5. James Bond to sip beer instead of a martini? Ad Age says so. So, the rumor is that in the new movie,
Yes, Heineken.
Skyfall, instead of drinking martinis, he will drink Heineken.
Yes,
So,
James Bond,
I don't-
classy man, drinks
This isn't
Heineken.
really
Yeah, I
anything,
know, right?
This isn't really anything new though, because I mean they changed him from driving Aston Martins to BMWs in the '90s.
No,
that's
this is
completely
so
different.
much
What are you
worse.
talking
Not
about?
even
This is so
close.
much worse. The most
Not
iconic
even
thing
close.
about James Bond, one of the
Is
most
that he
iconic,
drinks a martini,
Yeah,
shaken, not stirred. And you know they changed that in Casino Royale because he goes, "Do you want it shaken or stirred?" And he goes, "Like I give a damn."
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's lame. Come
That
on."
was kind of a
it's
nod,
like
though.
it was. Well, no, it was a nod, but I was like, they're just trying to make him look cooler, so they're like,
Yeah.
like I care. It's like, oh, shut
But
the
now he's
fuck
drinking.
up.
He's gonna have the Heineken label at you in the fucking screen.
The thing that bothers me
it's
about
gonna-
it is that they take this character and they're like,
Well, they ruined
He-
the James Bond image. He's supposed to be a gentleman spy, and they made him
yeah,
into an
well,
action star.
I was arguing with Bianca about this recently, actually, and I steadfastly say that Daniel Craig's James Bond is not James Bond.
No, it isn't.
He's
No, it's not.
he's a
It's
different
Bourne.
character. He has nothing to do with James Bond. His name is just James Bond, and he's MI6. But he is not James
Roger
Bond.
Moore is-
Real James Bond is dead. He's never coming back.
Yeah.
That character's gone, which is fine. I don't care.
He's kind of
but-
too schlocky now for
Yeah, he is.
modern movies.
He is, but
true.
that character is not Daniel Craig's character. They're not the same guy at all.
Yeah.
So
Quantum Sauce is garbage.
I gotta
Oh,
say, though,
yeah,
I
that
hope
sucks.
they just do the same lines, shaken, not stirred, and then the guy shakes his beer.
and he goes everywhere.
That'd be great.
That's a good idea.
Just break the
I'll
show.
have a Heineken.
So
Shaken, not stirred.
more product placement. Number 4, Christopher Mintz-Plasse to star in CBS comedy pilot Friend Me.
If you don't know him, that's McLovin, of
It's
course.
McLovin. Okay, so he's going to the warm, cozy home of television. Oh, you tried film? No, fuck you. Go back. Go
CBS.
step down.
It's CBS,
bitch.
yeah.
Yep.
Join the Big Bang Theory and get your 3 million viewers, make your few $1 million a year. Anyways, so let me just explain what this is.
The plot.
Friend Me centers on 20-something best friends, Evan, Mintz-Plasse, and Rob, Nicholas Braun, who moved from their hometown of Bloomington, Indiana, to Los Angeles to begin their exciting new lives working at Groupon.
Ugh.
So this is just a
Just gonna talk about Groupon the whole time.
This is Gildan's Mustard in Picture Perfect.
Yeah.
This whole movie, or this whole show, it's even worse. Its show is an advertisement for Groupon. Let me tell you what's going to happen in the first season. One of the episodes will be like, man, I want to take this cute girl out on a date, but I don't have any money. Well, I guess I'll go on Groupon for some ideas. Oh, look at this. I can get half off on a horseback ride. And then they go horseback riding.
Do you think, here's what I want to know. Do you think, and this will be great if they, because I think they'll do it. Do you think that they will promote deals
Specific
in the
deals,
show that are real deals?
the next day.
I hope so. Oh,
Right?
They're stupid if they don't.
They'll be
Yeah,
on,
right?
They'll,
Stupid.
they'll
They
go
don't.
up the next day. Yeah.
I think they will.
My
I think
question
they
is
will.
like, if he's working like in the show, he's working for Groupon.
Yeah,
he's an
he's
employee.
working there.
So do you think like he'll get into shenanigans of making like, oh, I have a Groupon buy one for $100 worth of free food at wherever, KFC
and
or
then
something.
they'll try to eat it all.
Yeah.
No,
I gotta see that. That's gonna be in at least one
it's
episode.
impossible to tell what the tone of this show is. Like, It's possible that the show is just like arbitrarily he works at Groupon,
No.
but it's very unlikely.
No, there's no way.
But what I'm wondering though is like, what is is it a wacky show or is it like?
I mean, considering his character that he's been in the last couple movies,
probably
I was thinking maybe a
slappy.
wacky comedy sort of thing going on.
Right, like slapsticky type wackiness. Because if that's the case, there are so many jokes you could make about Groupon. Just like. They would it's just this endless supply of jokes about coupons, basically.
It's just going to be
That's all
sitting at
you're
his
gonna
desk. It's
get.
going to say Groupon behind his head the whole time.
Yeah, it's going to
right.
be
Oh, yeah.
nonstop.
3.
So, that's pretty good.
Number 3. GSA chief resigns after hiring clown mentalist for greatest government-funded Vegas party ever. So, if you don't know what the GSA is, it's the General Services Administration. They basically budget all the miscellaneous services in the government.
Yeah.
They are responsible for like $50 or $60 billion worth of spending a year. It's a huge department, and they are looked at as real bean counters because, you know, they let the military and everyone spend as much as they want, but they got cut other places, so GSA is a good place to cut. You know, like, oh, well, you guys don't need new toilets or whatever. So these guys are considered bean counters, like real tough on things. So, anyways, this person, Martha N. Johnson, she resigned yesterday because she threw a $823,000 conference.
Let's stop for a second. Just think about that. Let's think about that for a second. $823,000 for a conference.
For a conference.
That
in Vegas.
Just think
This
how
was in
much
October
money.
of 2010.
Okay.
Just imagine
So it was even
what
cheaper, actually.
$800,000 would get you for throwing one conference.
I bet you Gartner, which is maybe the biggest conference, professional conference there is, doesn't cost that much to throw.
Probably not.
Or it's close.
It's probably, yeah. You're right.
And this was a government conference.
Yep.
The four-day affair included a clown, a mind reader, and a $31,000 reception, as well as countless mini bars.
Of course.
So I work at this conference. Shit.
Yeah, I know, right?
The report, which provides hilarious details of the four-day event, 300 items of $5 Boursin scalloped potatoes with Borello wine-braised short ribs, called the conference over the top and blamed excessive spending on travel, catering, and vendor costs. Miller also targeted a series of semi-private parties hosted by GSA employee seats that catered at taxpayers' expenses. So even the conference wasn't enough. They had after parties that were also...
Well, I like how people at the conference are basically like, this is crazy. Like, even they know. Like, everyone knows.
So this is the best part. So Barack Obama...
Why is there a
appointed her.
clown anyway?
And she's considered...
Yeah, exactly.
She's considered liberal. In 2009, she said the following statement when she was basically confirmed. Ethics is a big issue for me, she said at the time, adding that it's right and it's good business to be responsible steward of taxpayer dollars because they're trusting you with their pocketbooks.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Oh, what a cunt.
These people. These people.
And that's only number 3.
Yeah.
That was number 3. The
All
other
right.
2 are worse than that. So number 2, Arizona legislator apparently trying to criminalize being annoying on the internet.
Yep. The troll law.
The troll law. So, now this is the thing that bothered me the most with
It wasn't just trolling; it's just saying any obscenities to anyone.
Yeah.
So if I say "fuck you fucking douche" in front of your face, it's fine. But if I say it on the internet, it's bad.
Yeah, that's what I love about that.
This is the literal quote from the bill. HB 2549 prohibits any electronic or digital device instead of a telephone. So telephone, it's okay. You can call someone an asshole and a faggot on a phone. But once you do it on the internet, that's totally different, I guess.
Yeah.
With the intent to terrify, intimidate, threaten, harass, annoy, or offend a person. You know, I don't
Stop
really
touching
like
yourself. Stop touching yourself.
Hey, what do you think of these shoes? I don't really like your shoes that much. It's just my opinion. Oh, you have offended me. Now you're going to get a misdemeanor for offending me about my shoe taste.
First off, how are they supposed to enforce this at all?
Dude, I swear.
No, this will be.
You know what this is?
Want to enforce
Don't worry,
it by them.
Facebook.
I figured out what this is. This is the greatest troll ever. The guy who's throwing all these bills is the troll, and now he's putting out a bill for no more trolls.
An update for it, it's been stopped in the legislature, mainly because 4chan started faxing the governor's office a butthurt report form.
That's really funny, actually.
I would like to know.
Please describe the nature of the butthurt.
If you called someone with Skype and shit on them, does that count as a telephone?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
is that, I don't know.
So stupid.
What happens?
What if you call on VoIP?
Who is this person in Arizona?
See, that's borderline,
It's not
man.
a telephone.
How does Arizona?
I use Vonage. Thank you very much.
Yeah, don't though.
How does
that's
Arizona
right,
keep
you
coming up with
use
this
Vonage, we'll
bullshit?
get
I don't
you.
understand.
It's dumb, and it's a dumb law.
No, here's the worst fucking
not
part,
thought out at
okay?
all.
Here's the worst fucking part. If you're like, oh, stupid Republicans. The Senate approved this one 30-0 last week. You know what? There's Democrats on the fucking state Senate, and they've... Not a single person that represents this state. Not one of them went, hey, this law is completely insane. All of them went, yeah, I'm trying to cheat on my wife, and this reporter is saying that I'm cheating on her, and I'm really mad about this. So
30-0? Are you kidding me?
30-0. That's the thing that bothered me the most, actually.
They're just
30-0.
handing fucking bills underneath the table. They do that or what? What the fuck? Unbelievable.
Dude, that's some groupthink. Number one.
Old people that don't use the internet.
This one's beautiful, man.
This is
great.
one of the
I don't
worst
even know what
ones
it
we've
is.
had, I think.
In a
Get
long
ready.
time.
Government might let Big Chicken, the chicken industry, inspect
Big
its
Chicken.
own poultry.
Yeah.
So the USDA...
Insane.
The USDA is seriously considering and likely going to pass to have the chicken industry regulate its own chicken.
This
Instead
chicken
of
has
the
two heads.
USDA.
That's good.
Yeah. So here's the worst part, though. That's not even the worst part. They've had a quote-unquote pilot program since 1998 to test out this theory at 20 plants. There aren't that many plants making chicken,
So
okay?
they're already one's doing this.
So a lot of them are already doing this. And guess what? There are tons of reports of people having a hard time at these self-regulated ones reporting issues and safety issues.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. If you let a company inspect its own products, what's going to happen? It's so obvious.
This one looks rotten. Oh, fuck it.
Yeah, they're going to go, they're going to take someone. Well, that's not necessarily the case, but what will happen is they go, well, you've got this and this and this, but you're hired by us. So the person comes to them and goes, these are the problems you've got. We should be fixing these problems. And they go, well, we can't afford to fix those right now. And the person goes, well,
we're going to get inspected by ourselves.
Yeah. Well, they go, well, I file it. Like, well, all you have to do is just not file that report with that on it. That's all you have to do.
Both literally and figuratively, the fox watching the chicken coop.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
So here's a good one. Okay, so...
That's great.
They also reported many incidents of poultry plant employees, this is at the pilot program, letting birds with poo or other substances pass by. And if the inspectors tried to remove them, they were yelled at.
That's great. They yelled at
The guy whose job it is to make sure the chicken doesn't have shit covered in it was getting yelled at for doing his job.
Yeah. And by the way,
It sounds like a great
you
idea.
can
Let's
actually
just go
have
ahead.
some shit on your chickens
I know.
in the USDA.
It's like number of
totally
toenails per fucking...
Well, yeah,
for some
that's
of
true.
that.
That's not just chicken. That's
everything.
Yeah.
Any meat. There's a certain percentage that is allowed to be different things, including fecal matter is one of them. Yeah.
And so this guy, and by the way, if this guy's inspecting, probably doing a site inspection, if you can see the poop, it's probably pretty high. And he goes, hey, as my job as your inspector, I'm supposed to report this to you. And they're like, what? No, you're fucking not. Shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I always thought I'd be way more grossed out by a poultry factory than like a beef one by far. I just think it would be fucking disgusting.
So this is the best part. Tom Super, Vice President of Communications for the National Chicken Council, says The proposed rule is the next logical step in the modernization of poultry inspection.
The next logical step is
every word in that sentence is a lie.
Yeah, it's straight up lie.
How is it logical?
No.
How is it the next step?
Like I said,
Yeah, that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
How is that a step forward for any? That's not a. It makes no sense.
Like I said to you guys,
What is going on with this? Why is this happening?
I don't know.
Something,
dude.
Well,
unbelievable.
There are probably two big reasons why this is happening. One, yes, bribing. Probably
Money.
they're getting money for doing it, and the other is budget. Yep, there's a lack of funding for the inspection, so they go, well, why don't we pass off the inspection to them, let them pay the payroll for this one person to go around and inspect all this shit, and then that person is legally required to...
Or they could just not build 2 helicopters and pay for the entire program for 5 years.
I don't understand.
We'll just have people that when they sell their house... No, let's just have people that sell their houses do the inspections for the house themselves.
Yeah, no, what I said to Kevin is, why don't we not...
Oh, it doesn't look like it's going to leak at all.
Why don't we not have traffic violations anymore and we self-regulate? So if I know I'm speeding, I'll call up the cops and say, hey, can you send me a ticket? I was going 15 miles over the speed limit. I felt bad. Like, usually I would go 10, but 15 I was like, I really need to call this in and let you guys know. Can you send me a ticket for $200?
Maybe they'll just have like an e-file where it just says like how many dogs, children, and old people did you hit this week with your car, and you just kind of file it in a PDF file,
I thought it was funny though. My coworker said the funniest thing. He goes, I feel bad for people with OCD though in that type of scenario with traffic fines if they self-regulate because they go 1 mile over the speed limit and they'd be like, shit, I gotta report that. Oh, and they're just like going bankrupt. They have like you report things all the time. It's like you have like no insurance, their life's ruined.
It's like the most law-abiding citizen who ever lived.
By the way, I've told this to the most conservative. I've worked with very conservative people.
Yeah.
They think this is the stupidest fucking. I didn't meet one person that was even close to.
You know why
agreeing
they
with
think
this.
it's insane though? It has nothing to do with policy. The reason they think it's insane is because they have to eat that chicken.
Yeah,
that's why.
exactly.
And that is the problem.
I'm still gonna eat it.
That is the problem with corporate conservative philosophy, which is that if it doesn't affect me, then fuck them. That's the policy. But they go, I have to eat that? Fuck you people. What is this? You can't do that.
Yeah.
But if it was about them saying that they could if they could self-test like the seaweed for bacteria or something, they go, yeah, well,
Hey, it worked. It worked for Wall Street. Self-regulating worked for them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
totally.
It's just kind of sad that if this passes, we'll actually have worse chicken safety standards than China.
Cool.
That's unbelievable.
Whoa.
Because even though theirs is state-controlled and completely,
bribed up the ass,
basically, yeah.
At least they
have
force
something.
real inspections. Yeah.
They at least have an institution in place that's ran by
that one has feathers, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're done about chicken here.
Yeah.
We're done about everything.
I'm hungry.
If you want to contact us, email us at podcast@tipping40s.com or call us at 218-666-8407. This has been the 45th episode of the Tipping 40s podcast, and we will talk to you again.
Send in your gun questions.
Watch your poultry closely.
Diggity dog. Breaking. 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 Diggity, 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 diggity dog.